During the summer, I learned how to sew and it was such a fun experience. But now that it's cold here in Toronto, I want to get back to knitting. So I dusted off my Sentro Knitting Machine and I want to recreate a shirt that I made a while back, but in red. If you're new here, hi, I'm Sam. I love all things crafts. So if you also like all things crafts, make sure to follow. And if you're not new here, hi, welcome back. So nice to see you again. And let's get on to the sweater. Let's go. I made this when I first started my Sentro journey and it did not come out how I envisioned it. So I'm just gonna repurpose this yarn. I am so freaking excited. It's such a pretty color. I have my Sentro knitting machine. I did break it while it was in storage over the summer, but it still works beautifully. Also, you'll notice that I broke my tension rod, so it's being held up by tape. And this does make a funny sound because I did break it. I now have to figure out how to detach everything, but I'm kind of impatient. And the way I attached it, because I didn't know what I was doing, I think I just used a bunch of knots. So I might just end up cutting this. Am I finally... Oh, I thought I finally made it. Okay. I think I finally got it and now I can start. Because I'm recycling this yarn, I don't really have the details. I know I got it at Walmart and it's acrylic, but in order to see the weight, I can just only show you guys because I have no idea what size this is. So I had to pull up my notes. Right now I'm going to do the 2 panels in the front. There are 22 pins. I used pin 25 to 45 and I'm gonna do it for 110 rows. But right now I have my waste yarn, so I'm gonna just do a couple of rows of that first. I'm gonna give you a close-up of what my tension looks like. So when it comes to my tension, I like to put it through all 3. And a lot of people ask me how my projects don't have any gaps in it. It looks really close-knit, and I think it's because I try to make the tension as high as possible. Guys, I'm even double checking that this is on because you do not know how many times I started something and I realized that I didn't turn this on. So I had no idea how many rows I did and I had to physically count or restart. So gotta make sure that was ready. I forgot to mention, when it comes to making my tubes and panels, I still have my machine on the tube setting. I think it just gives you more freedom as to where you want to place everything. I just did it that way. You don't have to, but I just had to tell you guys before I forgot or you guys got confused. Okay, I stopped. We can see that it's clearly darker now. I have to use my light, but I stopped because my birthday is Friday and my family wanted to quickly come and say hi. So they're gone and now I'm gonna go back to knitting. I'm gonna try to do a little bit before my husband gets home. And I wanted to see if I can at least finish this panel tonight. I accidentally created a drop. Oh my god, I have so many drop stitches. Okay, hold on a second. I really have to lock in. No one look at my posture. Guys, the tripod that was holding my light just broke. I don't know how that happened, but luckily you saw me finish my last row. Now I'm just gonna do waste yarn. I mean, if this isn't a sign to call it a night today, I don't know what is. But next time you see me, I'll be filming in the morning and I'm gonna see if I can borrow my mom's tripod because that was freaking hilarious. Hi guys, it's been a couple days now and I borrowed my mom's tripod, so I have my light, plus it's gloomy so I'm not fighting the sun. So I thought today would be the perfect day to try to finish this project. I don't want to spend the whole day on this, but I don't think it will. The last time I saw you, I only finished the first panel, but I ended up finishing the second one and I did it off camera because it's the same thing. So I have 2 front panels. I still have the waste yarn attached. And I was getting nervous when collecting all the yarn for this project before I started filming right now because I realized, oh my god, will I be able to finish this darn thing? Because I only had these pieces left of the yarn that I'm going to disassemble to use. And I said, oh my God, this is not gonna be enough. But then luckily I found a little scrap piece, or the yarn that I didn't end up using for that other project. So that's nice. And then I still have some yarn from trying to make this. So I'm really excited. I 100% now think I have enough yarn. So I'm gonna get knitting. I'm gonna do the back panel first because I'm thinking if I end up, you know, not having enough yarn for the arms, I can do some stripes and make those identical and keep the body the same color. I have to look at my notes to see what the back panel is looking like. So I used pin 3 to 45 and I'm just doing 110 rows, the same as the front panel. Okay, we have a little bit of an issue. I'm a little nervous. Okay, so I'm on my 44th row of 110. I finished that little ball I found and then the extra yarn left over from doing the 2 front panels. Now I have to start undoing these and adding it to my project. The issue is these are 2 sleeves that I made, but I made them in the tube setting. So they do have slightly more yarn in them because I made them in the tube setting, whereas when I make the sleeves now, they're gonna be in a panel. But that's just making me nervous because even though I know it's slightly more, I'm just thinking, damn, this is pretty much what I need for the sleeves and I'm not done the back panel. So I'm just gonna start adding one of these into here and I'll probably do another color on the sleeve, like a little line or a couple of lines, just to make sure I have enough because I'm scared that I'm not gonna have enough. And I don't wanna go into making the first sleeve thinking, oh my God, I'm gonna have enough and not do a color stripe and then be screwed when I have to do the last one. I am on the 108th row out of 110 for the back panel, and guys, this is how much yarn I have for that sleeve that I had to take apart. And let me show you what it originally looked like, okay? I'll back up. Wait, do you see the size difference? So we're 100% going to have to add a different color stripe to the sleeve because ain't no way this will be enough for 2 sleeves. I'm almost done with the back, so I'm gonna finish it off. That was my last row. Literally all I have left. That is, that's so sad. Okay, I think that was gonna be my last row of waste yarn, so I'm gonna cut it. I did 8 rows of waste yarn for this one. Honestly, I never count. I just kind of see, I just have enough where if I'm moving it around and trying to also finish the ends, it won't unravel on me. But now we can take it off the machine, which is the most satisfying part. So I'm gonna zoom in for that for you guys. Like, was that not the most satisfying thing you ever done seen? But yeah, back panel is done. When it comes to my yarn, I only have this much left of this color. Means I'm gonna have to add color from another yarn because I don't have any more of this left. So I can either do black stripes, cute, or I can do a different red. But I think that looks weird because it's just so vibrant. And I think it makes this color stand out more, even though yes, black is also strong. I think just the red and red just looks kind of weird. So I might do black. So from my arms, I used 36 pins, like 1, 2, like these is what I consider pins. And I did pin 10 to 45 and I did 120 rows. So that's what I'm gonna do. So it's another gloomy day and I thought, what a perfect way to end this. This honestly could have took me less than a day to complete, but the sun was just too harsh and I didn't want to put you guys through that. I'm gonna put my show on. I'm rewatching Succession and I'm so excited. It's so good. I'm only on the 3rd episode, I think. So I'm gonna put my show on and then I'm gonna knit these arm panels and then we can assemble it together and finally be finished with the shirt. I just realized I didn't have lipstick on this whole entire time, so I quickly went and put some on. And now I'm back to this. I also have to remember to keep track on my phone when I do the color changes so each sleeve can be as even as possible. I just did 12 rows of red. Now I'm gonna add the black. Okay, this is what it's looking like so far. It looks really good. I'm really happy I went with black. I'm on row 76 of 120. And this is how much yarn I have left of the one that was already unraveled. And then I still have that full arm panel. So we'll see how this goes. I'm gonna add another black stripe. I don't know if I'm gonna add 2, but it's not gonna be as wide as this one. It's gonna be thinner. We're at row 110. Okay, I'm on the last row of the first sleeve. I'm so excited. I'm gonna show you all the sleeve details, so don't worry about that. I'm really excited because after this, I have one more sleeve and then I can start assembling, and that's when the project really comes to life. So we're gonna do the last row together, and then the next time you see me, I might be assembling it, so I'm really excited. Just like that, the row is done. I'm so excited because I have so many projects in my head that I now know I get to do. I'm so excited. I finished the arm panel, so this is everything done. I just need to put it together. I think I'm gonna mattress stitch it. So I have the 2 sleeves, the 2 front panels, and the back piece. This is all of the yarn that I have left of this project, and I'll do that when it comes to finishing the bottom piece, because I'm gonna mattress stitch all the joining pieces, but everything that's at the bottom, I'm probably just going to slip stitch it. But that's what it looks like. Okay, now it's time to put everything together. I brought up the shirt that I'm recreating just so I have a better idea of how I pieced everything together. At first, when I sat down, I thought I just mattress stitched it, which is true, but I didn't realize that I finished off the tops of the project before I mattress stitched it for the front and back panel, which makes sense because if I just conjoined these, the neck hole wouldn't be fully finished, only the parts that are together on the shoulders. So that makes a lot of sense. So I'm really happy that I brought this out because I 100% would have messed up my new project. So I'm gonna just finish the tops of what I'll be working on, and I'm just gonna do a slip stitch, and then for the shoulders I'm just gonna mattress stitch these together. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Perfect. I just slip stitched it, so now it's secure and I can take the waist yarn off. I was unraveling the waist yarn and I have to show you the most satisfying part so we can have this together because I love this. And it just comes off. This is the back panel. I slip stitched the top. The waist yarn is still on. And this is one of the front panels. This is the other one. I am going to join, I think, 10 stitches on each side together with a slip stitch to create the shoulders. We have the front 2 panels attached to the back. This is the arm piece. I realize it's not called a mattress stitch. I have to Google what it's called. I've been calling it the wrong stitch. But I'm going to stitch that together. And then because it's a panel, I'm gonna go halfway and then stitch
this closed and then continue going down. And then after, I'll finish off the bottom with the slip stitch.
Okay, I want to kind of explain what I was talking about, but with this, because now it's somewhat done, so it helps you better understand. So I found the middle of my sleeve, because I did 36 pins, it was the 18th stitch. So then I put the 18th stitch on the middle of the shoulder, and I'm gonna call it a mattress stitch, whatever that stitch is that I have to Google. And I did it all the way till the end of the sleeve, and then I put a little marker there. I don't know if you guys can really see. I put the little marker there because it's still open, it's still loose. Then I flipped the project to the back and I did the same thing, and then it also has a little marker there. And now what I'm going to do, let's put this so the right side is facing you guys, is that I'm going to close off the sleeve panel because it's still open, and then from there I'm gonna go back and stitch the side together. I don't know what the stitch is called, so every time I say mattress stitch, it's whatever stitch that I put here, because I don't know what it's called and I don't know how to word it without saying the name of the stitch. But it's not a mattress stitch, it's not using new thread, it's just interweaving pre-existing stitches from each panel. Okay, so as you can see, my panel here is not joined, but back here it is. So pretty much what I'm doing is, if you look at the edge of your panel, you can see, it's probably easier to do it on the red, but you can see that there is these little stitches, right? So what we're gonna do is take one of those stitches. So I'm gonna go to the edge and put my hook in. And as you can see, it's at the edge of the panel. And then I'm gonna put it through. And that's all you're doing. Now I'm gonna go to the other side and find the edge and put my hook through and put that loop through. Okay, this is when I get really hyped about a project because you get to try it on. And this is also the time where I get to see what I need to fix. Like, there's a little hole here, so I'm just gonna stitch that up. I don't know how I feel about the mix match sleeves. I might have to consult some friends and family to see if I'm going to change that, but that was not what's intended. This is how the sleeve was originally gonna look, and this is how it looks mix matched. Let me know in the comments if I should make this one exactly like this one and flip it, because I don't know, maybe it's because I have the vision in my head and it's not turning out that it's bothering me, but maybe the mix match sleeve will grow on me. I'm not really sure. Okay, so now when it comes to making the pinholes, oh, side note, the sleeve on this arm is a little tight, so I suggest adding a couple of pins. I think I did 36 pins for my sleeve. Maybe add a couple because it's a little tight here, but I don't know if it's because I'm wearing a shirt underneath, but it's a thin shirt, so heads up there. So when it comes to making the pinholes, what you should do, or what I like to do, is I like to try it on. I'm wearing a shirt underneath, obviously, because this is YouTube. But what I would normally do is be shirtless, and if you're gonna wear a bra with this shirt, put that bra on. If you're not, just be shirtless underneath. And then what I like to do is, here, I have these, but it's like these little stitch markers, and I like to go in, I'll get a big one. What I really like to do is just go in the mirror, look at where I want to pin. So let's say I want the top pinned. I use the stitch marker, if it lets me. And I kind of just pin it. And I'm gonna grab another stitch marker. You can find other ways of holding the fabric together, but I just think these are easier and I have it on hand. I'm also using the bigger size, but that also gives you some leeway. And then I would look and say, okay, where do I want my first keyhole to be? Do I want more cleavage? Do I want less cleavage? And I just pin them. And I like to do it when it's off, when it's on, because it just feels more symmetrical that way. I can think it's symmetrical looking at it, but when I put it on, it's not. And I pretty much do that the whole time. And literally, I just go down the whole shirt and I do this and I play around with it till it's my liking. And you know, sometimes I like doing this because then I FaceTime people, I get second opinions. I look, see if this is too big, too small, things like that. And then, okay, so this whole time I've been saying a mattress stitch. It's not a mattress stitch. I'm just gonna call it interlocking stitch. That's what I'm gonna call it, because I tried to Google it, I couldn't find it. I'll put a video somewhere of what it looks like and how to do it. I also made my own really quickly while doing this project, but I'll make a better little shorts video and post it on YouTube and my TikTok so you guys can see. But then literally that's all you do, and you can keep going down, pinning it and playing around with it to see what you like, what you don't like. To connect them, I do that interlocking stitch. For the top part, I do a couple to make the whole be more secure at the top. And then here I do like one or two little stitches just to combine them. You can do more or less. I even see some people do little dangly stuff coming down, like a little bead, and I think that's so cute. So I'm gonna do my little stitches and I'll be back and you'll see what it looks like at the end. I just finished doing the keyhole, so let me back up so you can see. It looks so cute. I'm obsessed. I can't wait to wear this. So for the keyholes, I alternate from big, small to do a little fun pattern. And then the sleeves, guys, I'm kind of in love with the quirkiness of the sleeves. It was a little happy little accident. And this is how it turned out. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to see any more knitting or sewing videos from me, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.